Hello everyone. Welcome you all to the Investment Management class. I am Impa Velliyappa, Associate Professor, Department of Management Sciences, Maharaja Institute of Technology, Mysore. We have already started Unit 4, which is about the fundamental analysis and technical analysis. And in my previous class, we have already discussed about the technical analysis concept and theories, that is Dow theory and Elliott wave theory, and its advantages and disadvantages. What do you mean by technical analysis? It's a graphical representation of the closing prices of the stocks in the share market. So, which is depicted in the graph form, and to which we can understand what is the right time to buy the shares and sell the shares. And then in today's class, we'll be discussing the charts, trend and trend reversals, and the difference between fundamental and technical analysis. So in our previous class, we have just seen what are the merits and demerits of technical analysis, where technical analysis can be applied to any kind of stock market. And disadvantages are also there because there are different conclusions drawn from different kinds of charts. We dealt with two theories, that is the Dow theory and the Elliott wave theory. So in Dow theory, there are certain hypotheses, three hypotheses, where the market, it's a tool to beat, it is not a tool to beat the market, but it is a tool to understand the market. That was the first hypothesis. Second hypothesis is where we learn that it is history repeats itself and market discounts everything. That is, any information, it is directly it has an impact on the stock market. Okay, so on these assumptions the Dow theory was based, and there are different trends like primary trend, secondary trend and minor trend. Then we discussed about the Elliott wave theory. Elliott wave theory is where they say that the trends moves in a pattern, where we study the pattern of the charts or trends, where they say in the bull market the 5 waves up it goes and 3 waves down, and in the bear market 5 waves down and 3 waves up. So this is how we have learned what is Dow theory and Elliott wave theory. So it might be Elliott wave theory or it might be Dow theory. We need charts to represent it. Okay, that is what we'll be learning today. So the price and volume data are generally studied by the use of graphical representation called as charts. Okay, so in the charts we depict the closing prices or volume of the share prices, so that of the shares, it might be the closing share price, or it might be the volume of the shares which is traded. We depict it in the form of a chart, signaling it what is the right time to buy and what is the right time to sell. So this is about the charts. Okay, there are 4 main types of charts which we can see, which is normally used by the investors or traders, depending on the information which they get and what they want. Depending on these two, they depict it in the form of a chart. So depending on the individual skills, their knowledge pertaining to the stock market, they chose the right kind of charts for the purpose of evaluating the stock. The different kinds of chart we normally come across is the line chart, bar chart, the candlesticks chart, the points and figures chart. Notice how the data is used to create a chart, and in the same way the data is plotted on the charts, where we get it in the different, even though the information is same, we get the different kinds of representation. Let's discuss individually what these charts mean. First, let's discuss the line chart. Okay, normally the line chart may not be in the straight form; it will be in the fluctuating form. The line chart, it may go like this, okay, or it might be like this. There is no particular pattern, but it will be in the line form. Okay, so when we discussed in the Dow theory, you might have observed that there are different kinds of trends like rising trend, flat trend, falling trend. In the same way, in line charts also, all these trend applies. So what do you mean by this line chart? In line chart, you can see the chart here also. In the line chart, the closing prices will be plotted. Like on the OX axis, you have the months, and the OY axis, you have the closing prices. Okay, so both are plotted, seeing in the month or year or days. However, in the OX axis, you plot it considering the closing prices of that particular day or that particular week or that particular month. Okay, for a set period of time, like it might be 1 year, 6 months, 3 months, depending on the data available and requirement, you just plot that. Okay, and the line is formed in this shape as I've drawn here. So a line is formed, and the closing prices will give you an idea what might be the future prices. So the trading range of the individual points, such as like we have, see, here is the high and here is the low. By seeing the line chart, you can say in that graph also, by seeing that, you can identify when was the time where the prices had shoot up and it was at its peak, and where was the point when the prices were totally down and it was in the down position. Okay, that you can identify from that. And what might be the future prices, that also you can estimate it by continuing it further. So this is how you take out the day in day out data or weekly data or monthly data and plot it in the form of a graph, and you use it for the purpose of analyzing the prices. So this is about the line chart. In the same way, the second one is bar charts. So what do you mean by a bar chart? A bar chart, it is like adding several more pieces of information to each data point. Okay, it's like the line chart is the simple one, and bar chart is a bit complex when compared to line chart. But this is also an easy form where additional information is given. Here, the range is given. Okay, your vertical lines are drawn, which are represented. You can see the chart. Okay, represented with high and lows in the trading point along the closing price. So this is normally, if the OX axis is there, this is depicted in the form of a range. Okay, you can see the range here. Okay. So if I put months like January, February and March, in the January month, it is depicting you at what level the prices has reached. So these vertical lines represent the highs and lows of the trading price. Here also the closing prices are only considered. So the close and open are represented through vertical lines by an horizontal dash like this. The vertical lines are drawn and a horizontal dash is put to tell you what does it signify, where it has stopped. Okay, and this normally what happens is this is shaded in black, which represent the up period. So if it is shaded in black, it represents up period, means the prices are increasing, and if it is shaded in red, then it is signaling the down signal, that the prices are coming down. So here it is quite easy to identify the price range. Okay, here normally there will be the closing prices. Here will be OX axis will denote the year, month, days or week, and OY axis will normally denote the closing prices or volume, whichever you consider. So in this, normally the upward signal is denoted in black and the downward signal is denoted in red. Okay, so hopefully you have understood this. So this is about the bar chart. Then comes the next one, which is, it is like a stage by stage, which is normally the even more difficult by line and bar chart, which is candlesticks chart. We even call these as Japanese candlesticks. These charts will be in the form of candlesticks. Okay, will be in the form of candlesticks. So these candlesticks chart are also quite similar to bar chart, but a bit more complex than bar chart. So it differs that whenever you consider this, it is very nice to look at it visually. Okay, it is like drawing thin vertical lines showing the period of trading range. For example, you can see here. if I'm drawing for January month, like this. Okay, it's a thin vertical line showing the period of trading range. It shows the trading range, and again they have a horizontal line to cover it. The formation of wide bar on the vertical line, which illustrates the difference between open and close. Okay, this tells us where the prices open. You can see the chart even here. That is a summation of all. This is the individual candle which I have drawn. Okay, there you can see two different colors, red and blue, which I'll tell you what it signifies. Okay, so here it illustrates the difference between the close and open of the share prices. Like the bar charts, candlesticks are also relying heavily on the use of colors. Okay, just now I said you about the colors. They use two different colors. For opening trade, the candlesticks usually will be white and clear, and if it is down for the period, then the candlesticks they normally use red or black. Okay, when it is up, it is normally using white in color. When it is down, they normally use the black or red in color. But here you can see in the charts, they normally represent with the same two colors, which is normally red and black. Okay, here they have said red or black. Red is always for downtrend, and black is for uptrend as a here. Okay, and whenever you say that the prices has closed above the previous day, like previous day if it was 100 rupees and the next day if it was closed for 120, then but it below the days open. For example, you can see here, if it is 100 day 100, it has closed. Okay, then 120 it will open again, increased trend. Okay, again if it opens in 90 on the next day, then it will be again down, it opens 90 like this. Okay, which denotes in this way it is denoted. You can see in that chart also. Okay, so the candlesticks will be black and filled with colors and usually indicated an uptrend, and if it is red in color, then downtrend. If you want color specifications, they normally denoted with blue and red. Blue for increase and red for decrease. Normally red is for decrease, and sometimes they use black, sometimes they use blue. They have differentiation like this. So this is about the Japanese candlesticks. Okay. The next is point sign figure chart. Okay. Now what is the point sign figure chart? See, this is in the form of candle, right? In the same way, we have points and figure charts. You can see the graph here. We denoted by X and knots, points and figure charts. Okay, so this is normally, you can say that it is useful in various circumstances. These points and figure charts are useful where to tell you from where the change has happened. Okay, this chart reflects price movement and it is not concerned about time and volume in the formulation of points. This does not consider about time and volume. The points and figure charts remove the noise or insignificant price movements. So by this, if you plot it on this, it removes the insignificant price movements in the stock, and which can distort trade. Okay, when the trade is distorted. Okay, this is it neutralizes the skewing effect that time has on the chart analysis. How this is drawn, I'll tell you. Okay, the points and the Japanese candlesticks is drawn in the form of candlesticks where the lower price and the higher price is plotted on the vertical lines. But here it is plotted in X and knots. Okay, X represents the upward price trends. Here you can see, if we have started from here, then the prices are increasing. That denotes the upward trend, and then the knot, which denotes the downward trend. So from the next day or next month, next week, the prices started decreasing. So that is denoting the downward trend. Okay. So the numbers and the letters in the chart that represents the months. So you can see that OX axis always represents the month, year, or week, or day, okay, represents that, and y-axis is normally is about the price scale, which is adjusted depending on the price of the stock. The higher the stock price, the more each box is represented. As it increases, it will keep on, it will increasing with the x, and as it decreases, it will come down. Okay, so if there is reversal also, it is easy for us to identify from what price the reversal has happened. It is according to the chart list selection discretion. Okay, so the price has to move away from the high or low in the price trend to create a new trend. If they want to create a new trend, it has to move away from the other. So in the same line, you cannot depict both the increase and the decrease. Both you cannot depict in the same line. Their line has to shift to show the difference. Here, even in this chart, you can see here there is resistance. Okay, here there is support level. Here there is resistance level. See, whenever the prices come down, we need some amount of support to push the price upwards. And whenever it is constantly increasing, you need some resistance power in order to push the prices down. Excuse me. In order to push the prices down. Okay, so it might be the flag patterns and all. I'll tell you in the next class, where we completely discuss about the patterns. Okay, patterns, we normally discuss about the different patterns. Actually, it is quite interesting. We have head and shoulders pattern, double top, double bottom pattern. We have flag pattern. We have a triangle pattern. So there are various kinds of patterns, and in that patterns we can see the ways the prices are depicted. In the same way, in the points and figures chart also, here you can see there is flag pattern. One of the pattern is identified. Okay, so I've told you about the points and figure chart. So let's combine everything. In charts, we have discussed 4 types of charts, that is line chart, bar chart, candlesticks chart, and points and figure chart. Okay, so next is trend and trend reversals. Now, what is this trend and trend reversals? I could have kept this itself. Okay, trend is the direction of movement. The prices can either increase or fall or remain flat. So I've told you about the 3 kinds of price movements, which is raising, falling, and flat. Okay, trend is where it moves in the same pattern like this, in the same direction. This is a raising trend. Okay, this is a falling trend, and this is a flat trend. Okay, so whenever you speak about the raising trend, it is continuously increasing, and whenever you speak about the flat trend, it is in the neutral position, it is flat. Whenever you speak about the falling trend, it is continuously coming down. Okay, that is known as a trend. Now, what is a trend reversal? Trend reversal is indicating a higher probability that the existing trend has to come to an end, and there is a good chance of the trend reversing its direction. Okay, if the trend changes its direction, we call it as trend reversal. And why this happens? Okay, it is like they give an early signal and the early formation of the new trend and making the entries quite lucrative. Okay, with fairly small protective stops. This also influenced by the resistance and support. Okay, the trend might not reverse immediately. It will take time, maybe a day, or maybe in the same day you get to see a trend reversal. Okay, the change in the direction of the trend shown by the violation of the trend line is called trend reversal. Okay, the meaning I've already told. I'll show it to you practically. What do you mean by a trend reversal? So this is the trend which is in the increasing way. If immediately if there is a change towards down in the raising trend, it changes its direction to being less, that's trend reversal. In the same way, and the floating trend, that is in the falling trend, it starts increasing, then the change of trend. Then in the flat, if it is raising or coming down, if it is raised or if it is down, then we call it trend reversal. Means constant if it is there, and if there are any changes which happens, then we call it as a trend reversal. So here you can see in the chart that there is Japanese candlesticks which is floating upwards, and there is a change in the direction which is coming down, that is known as trend reversal. Okay, hopefully you have understood the concept of trend and trend reversal. This is not that important for the exam. It is 3 marks question which is trend and trend reversal. You can understand its meaning and write. Okay, last topic is difference between fundamental and technical analysis. So there are chart patterns. Chart patterns I'll do it in the next class. I'll tell you the difference between fundamental analysis and technical analysis. So Nagesh sir have already done about the fundamental analysis. Fundamental analysis is normally time consuming. Okay, you need to do economic analysis, you need to do industry analysis, and you need to do company analysis. Okay, so it involves a lot of time because economic you need to keep on update on the Google or newspapers or magazines or business journals. You have to be update on that. And then industry, for industry analysis, you have to get information about the industry sector or industry or sectors. And for company information, individually you have to analyze each company's financial data. So lots of process. Sitting at home, you cannot do all of this. It's difficult and it takes more time. But in technical analysis, you just with the help of money control or any other price where you can get the closing prices, you can take that closing prices. It will be available 3 months, 6 months, such kind of data will be available. You take those prices and apply these tools. You can apply any tool like Dow theory, Elliott wave theory, or you can apply tools like oscillators, RSI, ROC, in moving averages. Any of these tools you can use. Use the tools and try to calculate the technical analysis prices, whether it is feasible to buy or sell, what is its value could be. It is like a quick study. You can sit at one place or home, you can analyze the company. Okay, next difference, second difference, I've already told the difference partially, where fundamental analysis is completely dealing with economic, industry and company analysis, which is EIC framework. But technical analysis is a study of price, volume and open interest. So I told you, so which is depicted in the form of charts, where one side the prices are plotted and another side, that is months or days, are plotted on the x-axis, and y-axis the prices or volumes are plotted. So it is like a study of 2 parameters, price and volume, and 3 parameters, price, volume and open interest parameter. Where in fundamental analysis the study is vast, where entire countries and world's economic scenario has to be analyzed, industry growth and its development need to be analyzed, company analysis need to be made. So the study is quite broad in fundamental analysis, whereas technical analysis it is limited. Okay, and fundamental analysis, just as now as I said, it is a study of cause. Means what will have an impact on the share market. Like if there is a change in the political system, will it have an impact on the stock market? If there is a change in the budget or policies, will it have an impact on the stock market? That is what we learn in the fundamental analysis. It is like a study of cause, what might happen due to the changes in the economic, industry and company. Whereas technical analysis is an effect, study of effect. Study of effect in the sense where the effect is analyzed. For example, the share prices already the effect has already been depicted on the stock market. The event has already occurred. Now, after the occurrence of the event, we are going to analyze what was the change, how was the change, and what happened due to this change. Okay, that is the effect. It has already had an effect from the fundamental analysis what you have done, and due to certain causes there are change in the prices, and what effect has the cause made on the prices, that we learn it in the technical analysis. So this is like a pre-study. Fundamental analysis is like a pre-study. Technical analysis is like a post. Okay, and then another difference. Another difference is, in fundamental analysis, you analyze the intrinsic value of the share. So real worth of the share, and you analyze whether to buy it or not. Whether in the market, whether the market price is higher than the intrinsic, or whether the market price is lower than the intrinsic. If the market price is lower than the intrinsic, you buy. When the market price is higher than the intrinsic, you sell. Okay, that is how you make the decision. Whereas in technical analysis, you analyze the study of charts. It is a study of charts, where I've told you about the different kinds of charts here, like line chart, bar chart, and the Japanese candlesticks and points and figures chart. Like this, you have different kinds of charts. You study these charts in the technical analysis. So here, by plotting it in the graph, it is very much easy for you all to identify in a year what was the high point, when was the high point, and when was the low point. It is quite easy to identify. And last difference is, there are many more differences, but I am concluding as of now. The last difference is, whenever you think of fundamental analysis, it is applicable only for few markets under the study. It is considering only few markets, like the economy of US government, that is US, will not have that much impact on an Indian company. It will have an impact, but not completely. So it is like, it is not that much generalized, and it cannot be applicable all over. It is applicable for only in few markets. Okay, whereas it compared to technical analysis, it is applied to any kind of market and any instrument. While introducing technical analysis only, I have told that it is applicable to any market and any instrument. So that is the difference between, in case of applicability. Okay, difference between fundamental and technical analysis. So this is what we have done in today's class. Let's summarize and sum up what we have done in today's class quickly. Okay, so today's class we discussed the charts which we normally use in order to analyze the share prices in technical analysis. Okay, there are different charts available. For example, line chart. The line chart normally moves in the line format, and there will be no add-ons to the line. Sometimes it will be high, sometimes it will be low. Like here I have drawn the rising trend, falling trend and neutral trend. This is nothing but the line chart. Okay. Then we have the bar chart. Bar chart normally deals with the vertical lines and a horizontal line on top of it. Bar chart tells you the range in which the share has moved, how much it has done. All the bar chart starts from the bottom. Yeah, all the bar chart starts from the bottom and tells you the difference, and next day where it has reached, like this. This is how the bar chart is represented. Okay. Then you have candlesticks. So I have told you it is in the form of candlesticks. I will draw here. they fix the higher and lower range on which the prices have moved. In that it is depicted. Whenever the prices move high, it is depicted in the color of black, and whenever they come down, it is depicted in the form of red. Okay, so then you have points and figure charts. In points and figure charts, you have different categories. So as I said, whenever it moves here and there, okay, so when points of figure charts come, whenever it is coming down, it is depicted in red, and whenever it is going up, it is depicted in another color, which is black. Okay, so here whenever you think about the points and figure charts, we normally have two colors in our mind, and we depict it in the form of colors too. So wherever we use colors, points and figure charts and Japanese candlestick, in these three charts, no, basically two charts here, points and figure charts and Japanese candlestick, we use the color signaling whether it is going up and whether it is going down. But here color is not that important for points and figure charts, not that important, because X denotes high and not denotes low. Okay, that is about the charts. Then we have trend and trend reversal. If it is going in the same way in a one direction, then we call it trend. If it changes in direction and comes down, then we call it as trend reversals. Okay, then we have the difference between fundamental and technical analysis. I have told you many differences, where the fundamental is like it's a broader study which deals with the economic, company and industry, and which is not applicable to all markets, only few markets applicability is there. Whereas technical, it is applicable to more markets, and it is like a study of charts, and it is a narrow down study, and it is very much helpful to know the future. So it is post, and fundamental is pre. So this is what we have learned in today's class. Hope you have understood. Then in next class, we will be discussing the chart patterns, and that is also a quite interesting class. Thank you for attending today's class.